What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Talk Talk Punch. I am Brody, joined by Two Dong Dylan
Hey.
and Charlie Five, still alive, Hickman.
Hey. Barely.
Short circuit reference.
Yeah. No, and fitting because, I'm hanging by a thread. So it's good. It's good to check in on me.
Thank you guys so much for joining us. While you're here, we'd love to interact with you. So comment down below. Just please remember to be nice. And while you're watching, whether you're watching, you're on YouTube or listening in on the audio version of the podcast, make sure you go that thumbs up or star rankings or other rankings, whatever helps us the most, whatever service you use. That's what we do. And then you can subscribe, or else Dylan is going to come over to your house and he is going to disassemble all of your Lego sets.
Oh.
Dylan. Two Dong, Dylan, how dare you?
It has to be done, man. It
People,
has to.
You need to subscribe. Please. Take of the leg.
Legos.
And then after you've subscribed, then you can come back here every Wednesday to hang out with us and see what we're talking about. Kind of like this week's episode. We've got a special mailbag. Charlie, how about you tell us all about this?
Well, we thought it would be fun to get a chance to field some questions from you guys, the viewers out there, and just get a sense of what's on your mind, what's on your heart. What are you thinking about? What would you like to hear us talk about? And then, of course, we realized we hadn't given you an opportunity or a chance to really tell us or ask us any questions. So we had to reach out to some of our industry contacts and find some people in some different corners of the World Wide Web to send in some questions for tonight's inaugural mailbag episode. But in the future, you can reach us at talktalkpunch@gmail.com. Send us your questions, and we will include them in the next mailbag episode. You can also leave them as comments on this video. That's fine too. So whatever is easiest for you. But send us those questions because it'd be fun to do some more of these in the future. We had a lot of fun fielding these questions from various celebs and debutantes. So without further ado, should we just jump right in?
Let's jump right in. Let's do this.
All right. So I kind of have sorted through some of these questions. There was a lot of them. So we'll see how many we can get to tonight. I know these will be surprises to Dylan and to Brode, but let's dig in. Number one. Okay, this is from Charlie's mother-in-law at yahoo.com. It is, why in the world do you call Dylan Two Dong?
As an email or a candle, but Charlie's mother-in-law.
I cannot speak to the if it's a valid email address or not, but
no,
that's where it came from.
Dylan, I remember the exact moment when the name Two Dong was birthed into the world.
I do.
You remember this?
I remember it. I
do not remember this. I have no idea what this story is.
Don't remember this.
Charlie had decreed that we were going to. Everybody back in the days of pagers had their own their own number that signified them, and mine was always 22. So if you had a certain amount, Charlie was 51. I can't remember what yours was, bro, but everybody had
56, man, 56.
Right, 56. And so Charlie decreed that we then had to come up with that amount of nicknames for the person. And one of our friends, as we were throwing out, I guess,
that's right.
and one of them had said one of my nicknames, as they were going trying to come up with different ones, was Ding Dong Dylan, which I found hilarious. I don't know why. I was in a very chuckly mood. And I misheard her. I didn't hear Ding Dong. I heard Two Dong, and I started.
I heard Two Dong. It was me
that
heard Two Dong.
I thought I heard it too, and I was cracking up about it. No, you had heard it, and you said it.
I remember it. I remember it as me mishearing it because you were too busy laughing. I heard Two Dong, and I said, "Did you say Two Dong?"
Oh yeah, that's right. And then I started laughing even harder.
And then you laughed even harder, and then it just stuck. And here we are, 25 years later, and you're still called Two Dong.
My birthday was the other day, and his entire, well, not his entire family, because his wife didn't, but all of his kids were like, "Happy birthday, Two Dong," which was impersonation of me was just, that's all apparently I did. And so that's all they would do. And it was fantastic. I cherish each one of those videos every birthday I get, bro.
All my kids know you as Tudong.
Met me and they are like, call me like, hey, Tudong. I'm like,
yeah.
I forgot about the list.
A mishearing of Ding Dong Dylan right in Charlie's living room.
No,
all these nicknames, and I still don't have one. It's all right. Still alive. I'm taking it. That's my new one. I'm claiming it.
Charlie 5 still alive.
Charlie 5 still alive. All right, I like it.
I thought it was a good one.
No, it's a good one. It's a great one. I love it. It's just gotta stick. We just gotta keep saying it until it becomes part of the lore of and the history of TTP. All right, well that's great. So now everybody knows. I kind of like Ding Dong Dylan. Can we bring Ding Dong Dylan back instead of drop the 2 and just go with the ding?
We could go to Ding Dong.
We can't. 2 goes along with 2. My number was 22. Makes it even better.
Ding Dong Dylan.
That for so many years, bro. You can't just switch it up now. Call me after like 30 years.
Change approved.
All right, Charlie. What's next? What do you got for me?
All right. So this one comes from the real Daniel Radcliffe at Outlook.com. So he writes in, and he especially and requested that I do this in a British accent. So I will go ahead and proceed to read this. What is something not featured in the books or movies of the Harry Potter series that you'd be curious to see how it worked at Hogwarts? The daily life of Hogwarts. Not so much talked about, he says. So, does that make sense? Did the accent is it too distracting? Daniel Radcliffe, not known for his clear email writing, so it was a little bit.
He would love to know what they didn't show on screen, so we can't be like, how did that food just appear? It had to not actually show up. You know something? I want to know how they played chess at Hogwarts. I want to see what kind of a chess game that they have. In Star Wars, they have some kind of a crazy, like, hologram kind of a thing. In Star Trek, they've got the 3-dimensional, like, chessboard. I want to see how they play board games over there.
Like Knight's Chess?
Like chess, like the game, like checkers. I want to see how they do board games.
But don't you remember when they
chess? Tudong, it's Knight's Chess. That's what they play.
Don't you remember?
I didn't see it in the movies.
Oh, what are you talking about? It was one of the big things at the first movie.
Yeah,
Ron Weasley.
I want to see more. I want to see
more chess. No, but like
all the things to pick. You pick something that had a prominent part.
No. They didn't play a board game. That was like a challenge. They were like gonna die. I want to see like a fun board game where they're like, look over this butterbeer right here. Let's play this game. Poof! Then and like suddenly like fireworks come out, but only over the board game. A nice board game is what I want to see. I want to see the children playing a board game.
I think the general question of like what would recess even look like at like a like a break, like what kind of games do they play? Because all we see is kind of Quidditch. Like, is there like a basketball equivalent? Is there like some kind of like baseball? I tell you what, I would be really curious to see is like what kind of theater department they got at Hogwarts. Like we're like the theater kid wizards, like what kind of shows are they putting on? Like Muggle shows, but like with magic? Is it like The King and I, Back from the Dead, or I mean, the Music Man takes on a whole different kind of plot line if he can actually just teach people to play music through magic, and it's like you don't need to practice. Hey, come on, it's magic, and then it is. I'd be into that.
I would love to see what kind of like comic book have. Like, do they have wizard superheroes who have like even more powers? What is a wizard superhero when everybody already has magic?
Maybe they read comics about just like normal guys and gals who are like, I woke up today, I didn't have any magic, and I just did stuff.
What? What happened?
Maybe they read about Muggles or something like that.
They just go to Earth Cinema and they're like watch movies like with all the normies and just go like, It's like when we watch old movies and we're like, oh, just pick up your cell phone. Oh, you don't have a cell phone? Oh, 1985 horror film. You guys don't have cell phones? They're like, just use your magic wand. Oh, look at the muggles running from Freddy Krueger. I'd just zap them and I'd hop on my Nimbus 2000. I'd be out of there.
Yeah, mine would be super.
Horror movies in the Harry Potter universe would be fun too, just to see what
horror movies.
What kind of nightmarish horror movies they could create.
They don't have.
Why not?
Yeah, why not?
They don't have the technology. Suck on it, wizards. We got TV. You lose.
They don't need technology. They have magic.
Yeah, I guess. All right. Well. All right. Well, they're missing out. All right. Let's see. All right. So next, this one comes from Hail himself, Mark Hamill from the Star Wars universe at protonmail.com.
Protonmail.
And Mr. Hamill asks us. Hey, look, I'm just reading off of the whatever they send in is what I got to read.
Okay, all right.
He said, when I was in the Star Wars movies, we used real lightsabers and not special effects like many people think. And then he asked, how fast would you three accidentally kill yourself if you were to use a real lightsaber?
I probably lightsaber before I even turned it on.
the classic cartoon where you're like,
don't tell the thing. He didn't even turn it on yet, and he's dead.
He killed himself.
Somehow. I'd be like, I don't know. Why would he even do that? He takes some kyber crystals or something.
I would imagine that I wouldn't immediately kill myself, but I would probably start lobbing off my own limbs accidentally. And then, because it cauterizes. So I'd swing it and then I'd lose an arm, but it's cauterized. I'm still alive, and you just keep on swinging and eventually I'd cut off a foot, and then the rest of my leg. And
you'd be just a torso with your arm.
I'd just be
like
a nub.
Monty Python.
It's
just a flash wound.
But they'd all be cauterized. They'd all be cauterized, so I'd be okay.
Yeah, you're good.
Until I accidentally hit my head.
Have you guys ever like swung swords before?
Oh yeah.
I know Dylan and I have done some sword combat in some of the stage plays we've done. I was trying to think if I've ever hit myself like hard with a sword, because I'm feeling overconfident. I'm feeling like I'm not killing myself with the lightsaber. Everyone else in my house dead. All the stuff in my house cut to shreds. But I can't remember ever like just hitting myself hard in the leg when I'm swinging a sword around.
Here's the thing. With a lightsaber, this is what makes it so funny, to me at least. You've got a sword in your hand, and it's got weight attached to it. You're not going to just swing it around, chop your own head off, because you got to put some momentum to it. A lightsaber, on the other hand, is just the lasers. And then next thing you know, you've lopped off your head accidentally. Because you think, how could I just... It's not going to hit me. But you're like... just out of nowhere. There's no weight to it. There's no heft. So, bro would just be like,
some of it also depends, because you see in the Star Wars universe, it's not always consistent like what lightsabers can cut through. I remember like when I was a kid, there was a kid that went to my school. He lived like real close to me, and we were kind of like hanging out near his driveway, and we were all just kind of chatting. I didn't know him that well, but he had a baseball bat and a basketball. And he has this brilliant idea that he's going to bounce the basketball on the ground, and then he's going to over his head double hammer this baseball bat into the basketball, and he just goes whoosh, and that the bat bounces off the ball, splits his head just wide, blood's everywhere. I mean, just like destroyed himself. So if I'm swinging my lightsaber at something and I'm not quite sure it's going to cut all the way through, and I'm like, yeah, that's how I would probably die. When I'm like, I wonder if it'll cut through this. And then it cuts through it. And then I'm like, well, what about this? At some point, it's going to bounce back. And I'm just like lopped in half.
Even just bouncing back, it could just like just some errant little thing. You'd just be dead. It's really great.
Like cut the nose off.
Well, I can tell you, sometimes I'll bust out my lightsaber that's here on the wall and start swinging it around, and I eventually hit a leg, and then it's just like, oh, there it goes. Leg. There goes a leg.
Those VR games where you're like a Jedi or a Sith, and you've got like they weigh nothing. You're like, I could be killing myself right now. This would murder.
Oh yes.
I'd be dead before I even turned it on.
All right. Well, all right. This next question comes from Christian Bale 69 at AOL.com. And he asked me to read this in my best Batman voice.
Yeah. Christian Bale Batman.
How cheap would the rent have to be for you to actually live in Gotham City?
Oh, what area of Gotham City? Like the Narrows?
Remember, bro, if it's in the good section, it's gonna get robbed or bombed or gas. Just like that.
True.
Robbed or bombed or poison gas, and most likely all of them. And that's if it's in a good neighborhood.
Simultaneously, yes.
Simultaneously. At once. Now, if you're in the suburbs, that doesn't mean that there's no crime. That just means that there's no big like buildings for Batman to like swing around and save you. And if there are big buildings, then you're in an apartment, and you're definitely going to be killed, probably by your neighbor, somebody across the hall, and they're probably on. I mean, I don't know. They just Gotham doesn't seem like a great place to live. Like
it's a horrible place.
No.
I think it's always one of the first questions when you watch a Batman movie and you just see all the crime and how horrible it is. And it's like, why live there? Go, leave. I can't help but wonder if in the universe that the comic, maybe you guys can do, because I know you guys have read more Batman comics than I have. Is the rest of the world just worse? Is Gotham actually the safest city? And like everywhere, like, oh, you think Gotham's bad? Wait till you go next door to like Des Moines. That place is horrible. Well, they got like 5 Jokers over there.
I was just thinking, what if you go to Metropolis, where, I mean, almost every single place is going to just completely blow up? I mean, General Zod will be there 1 week. Doomsday will be there the next. And they haven't even finished building.
But at least in Metropolis, you are either alive or you're dead. It's what? Like, hey, like here I am, and I'm going about my day, between. And oh, this god from another universe has come, and now I'm dead. It's not like they're robbing my house every day. I'm not living in constant fear. It's just like you accept your fate. I'm alive, or I'm in one of the buildings that's going to blow up, and that's the end. In Gotham, you got to like, oh, who's coming? Is it the mob? Is it one of these crazy? Is King Tut coming today? I don't know.
If I could live for free,
I can't see the rent very high over in Gotham. Even in like, I mean, if you've got a place like the Narrows, bro, they should be paying you to live there. Like, seriously, I really expect me to live here.
In an alternate universe, if I was like a reporter or something, and I didn't have a family to worry about, some cheap rent in Gotham, I'd be into that. Like, free would be great, but like, a couple $100 just to live in a big city and be able to write, it'd be nice.
There's got to be nice places, right?
I don't think so. I don't think there needs to be. It doesn't seem like it. Like, when was the last time you were watching a Batman movie and you thought that looks like a nice place? I'd like to go there. Look at that park they're all just hanging out at. And then if they show you, oh, look, they're on a ferry. Look how nice that is. Oh, there's a bomb. Okay, they're all dying.
Like Bruce Wayne, multiple times in the Dark Knight series, goes to a really nice restaurant. What happens there?
Except that he's like running into mobsters and penguins and.
Oh,
things.
The nice restaurants.
Even his mansion. Even his mansion doesn't look like a nice place to live. It looks like it's like a dark Munsters kind of mansion.
And in the Nolan verse, it burned down to the ground anyways.
Secluded on a hill, like the kind of place that when you're a kid you'd have the guts to walk up to the gate and then sprint away from.
I I agree. I think that would be a good scenario. If you're like, you're single, you're young, you're going to be a writer or something along those lines. A couple $100 a month. Yeah, all right. Reporter. That makes sense to me. That makes sense to me. What do you think?
All right, bro. You got official number? Free for Brody?
Free.
Okay.
It's gotta be
I like it.
Free would be good. 200.
All right. So this next one comes from Arnie at zohomail.com, and he asks that I read it in my best Schwarzenegger. What era or setting would you want to see a Predator movie? In other words, a Predator is dropped into a period of history, and you can watch it in a movie. What one will you be? Sent from an iPhone. That's what it says.
I would like to see some Victoria era right there. I'd like to see them chastised. I beg your pardon, sir, and have them be just like unbelievable. There's nobody here.
How dare you, sir? It seems like it'd be a fair fight. Give me some samurai. Give me some samurai against a predator.
Ooh.
Like just ancient Japan, or maybe some Roman legions. You drop them into like a little ancient Rome. He's like, hey, what's up? I'm a predator.
Pretty good.
Like Sparta, the 300 meets the Predator.
I didn't care for that movie. I don't know why.
You've never even seen it.
I've seen it.
You've seen the 300 Predator movie that doesn't exist that I just made up right now? You don't care for it? You never even seen it. It doesn't exist, Dylan. I'm making it up right now. How dare you insult it? It could be cool.
Made. I've seen it. It's been made, and it flopped, sir. Flopped. I'm sorry. I did not.
If they can do Pride, Prejudice, and Zombies, we can add a predator to anything, anywhere, anytime. When Harry Met Sally and meets a predator. Pecan pie. Oh, there's a predator.
And he's just like unbelievable. They are still talking about religion. Nobody is hunting or doing anything. I don't get. How am I going to like replicate this voice?
All right, bro. What about you? What you thinking? Muskets?
Pirates.
Oh, pirates would be awesome. I mean, maybe like a Western?
And you get like dress the predator in like a cowboy hat and like he's got a trench coat.
Yeah, and he rides a horse in the town.
Billy the Kid, young Doc Spurlock and all that.
But maybe you could have like a whole gang or something like that. A gang of cowboys.
Deadwood versus Predator.
Deadwood versus Predator.
Like
it could work.
Cursing at him. I can't take. I can't.
Maybe like 80s. I know that the first one came out like Los Angeles 80s. Like, almost like a wedding singer type environment. So he's big and flashy.
So you got Adam Sandler, you've got a young Danny Glover, and then you got a Predator.
Yeah, exactly.
I like it.
Exactly.
Hey, Lethal Weapon movie where and then they show up at a house and it's like the Predator's there. And it's like, whoa.
All right, next, Charlie. Next.
All right, on to the excuse me, on to the next.
Questions.
What'd you say?
I said good question so far.
Okay. All right, this is from the real Rob Kirkman at Walking Dead at zohomail.com.
Another.
Yeah. It is the most popular free. Do you guys not have a Zoho Mail account? This episode, by the way, sponsored by Zoho Mail. Email something I did not know existed before we started getting all these emails from Zoho. Big fan of Zoho and Proton mail.com. So this is the question. Now that I've lost my place, Brody. Thank you. The email reads, I'm obviously a little partial to the zombie apocalypse idea, but if you guys had to pick an apocalyptic event to occur in your lifetime, what apocalypse are you choosing and why?
Can we still pick a zombie apocalypse? Because
absolutely. Choose your own apocalypse, boys.
I would go zombie apocalypse. There's something to fight. If there's like a computer apocalypse, if there's like a nature apocalypse, that's basically it. There's nothing to really go against. Give me some zombie apocalypse. I really don't want to get eaten or killed by other humans, which is really what anybody wants in life.
But you want to be eaten and killed by zombies?
Zombies.
And if the food supply is low, you might get eaten and killed by humans also.
True.
I'd probably be the one killing and eating others instead of being killed. Of course, sooner or later, I'd get killed and eaten too. I'm just saying, give me something that I can actually go against, as opposed to, things that you can't fight at all. No?
Okay. Bro, what do you got? You want me to list some apocalypses? I can. Volcano in Los Angeles.
Like zombie sounds the worst. I'd rather do like an earthquake.
You want to go against nature, bro?
Yeah.
Kick that earthquake's ears.
Zombies.
He said all nature has to do is shrug and humanity is destroyed. That's in a Batman comic. Swamp Thing and Batman right there. Nature shrugs, destroys everything. I'd like a fighting chance.
Then that means we get to go quick. I don't want to try to survive through a zombie apocalypse.
I think I might be with Brody on this one, because that's like almost like a never-ending apocalypse. Like it's just you're constantly in an apocalyptic event for like however long you live. You're in there. That's why for me, if I'm choosing an apocalypse event, I'm choosing the blip. Give me the blip. A little snap, and either I make it or I don't. I'm alive or I'm not. And the infrastructure of the world is largely intact. And hopefully my whole family makes it through. But if not, I can grieve them and mourn them without having to worry about where I'm going to get insulin for my diabetic son in a zombie apocalypse. I'm like carrying an 8-month-old baby around during an alien invasion.
Could come back or just stay in limbo forever. You don't even get to die.
What you dissolve and then that's it. That's life. That's okay. It's okay. You go to sleep. The blip.
It's a good.
But hopefully you make it. You maybe you're one of the lucky ones and you're good. You're Paul Rudd. You're Ant-Man. You're like, this is all right. I got another movie coming out. I'm good.
I'm good.
And this is one of those questions that I'm going to be.
There's no good answer if you're picking the end of the world, but
that's a good
I kind of feel the same way about an asteroid. If it hit and then kind of like killed give me some kind of event where either I make it or I don't. That's what I want. I don't want nuclear fallout where like I'm dealing with radiation. Don't give me like monsters that I'm like a controlled zombie apocalypse. I could see that being fun.
I didn't say fun. It's an apocalypse. It's not supposed to be fun.
It can be. I can see it being fun. Like the idea of killing zombies. In a sustainable farm where I can make all the right choices, like building walls and fences and not letting zombies in.
I don't like that idea at all. But then again, I don't like the idea of an apocalypse at all. I'm picking a vacation. I'm picking an apocalypse. I realize it's not going to be good. All I'm asking for is a fighting chance, not flipping a coin, not, like maybe, it'll happen again or it won't. It'll definitively go out or it's not. You fight or you don't, or either way. But that's all I'm saying. I know for a fact I'm not picking my vacation. And it's not a zombie apocalypse. That's never going to be a vacation.
Hey, people take that kind of vacation. There are vacation packages with like those fake zombie runs and things like that. Just saying.
Good point. They have earthquake drills too, though. There's a whole movie about the blip. There's 2 movies about the blip. So, hey, we make it fun for ourselves. We stare in the face of the apocalypse and we spit in the Grim Reaper's eye.
All right, Charlie, I think we got time for one more question.
One more question. Okay, all right.
I mean, they've all.
Oh, wow.
These are deep, folks.
So,
you guys are us deep questions.
Yeah, all right. So this one reads, Brody, tell us your deepest, darkest secret. No, I'm just kidding. All right. So our last question comes in from Johnny D. Depp. I was the worst Wonka in history at iCloud.com, and it simply reads, and he asked me to read it in his Wonka voice. So, if you were on the Wonka tour, which Wonka distraction would have gotten you? Spot on, by the way.
That is pretty spot on, actually. Yeah.
So, boys, you're on the Wonka tour. Which one? Where are you failing? What leg of the tour are you failing, Brody? Where are you going out?
It's the Eggnog River. Just consume me. I'm just gonna jump in and I'm just gonna probably drink until I explode. Oh man, just all the eggnog. Just fill it. Maybe there's just big vats of eggnog that I can jump into. And you can make it the alcohol kind. You can make it the non-alcohol. I don't care. Just give me some of the nog, baby. Give me some of that nog. Give me all the nog.
Give me all the nog.
All the nog. Give me all the nog. And that's what would be my demise in the world. Absolutely. Easy question. That's the easiest question of the night.
All right, Dylan, what about you, man? Do you remember all the obstacles? Do you need a refresher?
So there was the TV.
Oh, were we supposed to go off of existing ones?
No,
anything.
Areas. The existing ones is like a template. So if you didn't have like an area of the, I like your answer. It's a solid answer. But like if you know, so like there's like the food area, like the Augustus Gloop, the gluttonous. You know that you captured the theme of why he failed. It doesn't have to be that you have to do exactly what the Gloopster did. And then you got Veruca and her, I want it now, Daddy. Or was she the bubblegum?
Violet's the bubblegum.
Violet's the bubblegum. Yeah, Violet Beauregard. Bubblegum, and then you got Mike TV, which is very subtle. A very subtle last name.
Very subtle.
You got your you got your the okay of those or the Charlie Bucket, you know, the bloop bloop bloop. Where are you going out, Dylan?
I don't know, because you see, I don't think I would go after one of those golden geese. These kids are kind of thieves. Most of them are thieves. Veruca went after a golden goose to get, like, you know, they lay the eggs and all that kind of thing. I'm not a thief.
Right.
And like,
well, you think about it, because for me, there's two areas that would be the most tempting, and for me, it's the like Brody said with the eggnog. If it was the right kind of food or the right kind of drink, ooh, that'd be kind of hard to pass up on. But if I was disciplined enough to get through that, I think I could make it all the way to the end. But the idea that I could drink and then float would be super cool. And that's like I don't need a goose. I don't like bubblegum all that much, or candy in general. I'd be fine getting through the TV thing, but I guess if it was like a VR PlayStation event, maybe I'd want to play that. But I don't want to be teleported ever. So I'm very comfortable not having my body like, you know, disassembled and reassembled. I'm good. But you tell me I can float? Levitation home? Oh my goodness, that sounds fun. Until the blade thing, but you know.
See, I like the idea of that. But the one thing that would stop me is I would be like, before I drink this, how do I get down? So if I don't get that answer, I'll be like, well, let me tell you, I'm not going to drink it then, because I don't want to float up and not come back down. That's a terrible idea.
You're in an enclosed space. It's not like you're going to float out into like the universe.
How do you know that? How do you know? You don't know that. Like,
there's a ceiling. You can see a ceiling.
I don't like.
You're in a building. That's how you know.
Floating up in the air.
If you started floating right now at your house, would you be worried that you would float out somehow and go to space? You're in your house.
If there was a huge cylinder-like thing where you're going like feet into the air, that's too high. I'd probably, if that television would transport food to me, or maybe like that. Like the television can like show you anything like you'd like to see at all, like any of all the streaming stuff. Maybe that might get me, because I'd sit down and just be like, all right, let's just
episodes of Frasier. Don't mind if I do.
I do. Give me some Community. Give me some Cheers. Give me some Perfect Strangers. I'll stay here until I'm dead.
There you go.
I guess it is my TV. Wow, that's terrible. I'd never teleport. I'd never teleport.
Hey, I had to pick Charlie Buck because I got to go with my namesake. And can I just say, by the way, when I was a kid, people would like, "Oh, where's your chocolate factory, Charlie? Where's your chocolate factory?" And then they'd sing like the "Cheer Up, Charlie" song, or this, and then it became, I got older, and then they re-released the movie, and kids would still come up, even though I was like, I don't know how old I was, like in my teens or 20s or something, and kids would still come up to me. They'd be like, "Where's your chocolate factory, Charlie?" Children would stop me and say that. They would mock me. Twice in my lifetime, I had to deal with that. Twice.
Yeah, people would always just call me 90210. That's all I got.
Why couldn't I have had a name like Ding Dong Dylan? No one would have ever made fun of me.
Or
Ding Dong Dylan.
No one would make fun of Two Dong Dylan.
Maybe
the best
one
is when
Dong
we say
Dylan.
it in public. The best is when I came up to you at your wedding and I'm like, Two Dong Dylan.
Two Dong. I love that.
It was nice getting that email as a reminder of how weird that nickname actually is. So
it is a
little bit weird. Well, Brodo the Lawn Gnome, this has been fun. If you guys have some questions for us that you'd like to hear us answer or banter about, if you'd just like to know some intimate secrets about Brody, Dylan, or even myself, make sure you hit us up either in the comments below, or really on the comments of any of our videos, but specifically this one, or email us at talktalkpunch@gmail.com. Not zohomail.com, not protonmail.com, but at gmail.com. Talktalkpunch@gmail.com. Make sure you check out more videos below, and make sure you click that like and subscribe below that gorgeous beard. And we got to put something below Dylan, but whatever. He's got too many dongs. We'll see you next time.
Bye.